wide for Blythesville Electrics in Katanning. The 8, Brent Vosbergen, the defending champion of this event. 83 of Daniel Amagiri from the back of the bus to 31. The XO1 Rocket Chassis of Paul Stubber. 8 starters, 10 laps a journey. The Pro Dirt Late Model Series for this summer is underway. And the altitude Morley number 15 of Warren Oldfield leads him through turns 1 and 2 for the first time. Watch for Kai Blight and Brent Vosbergen to storm their way forward. The national champion already up in a 3rd place, and he's on the charge in the Longhorn for Albany Forklifts. They hustle out of turn number 4 and into the front straight in front of a very big crowd this Saturday afternoon twilight show here at Ellenbrook Speedway. And look at Matt Amato working the bottom as Vosbergen wheels up alongside of Blight. They're side by side into turn number 3. Vosbergen on the low line, Blight on the outside. Look at him go wheel to wheel off turn number 4. Blight back around the outside. But sadly as Bush's Longhorn goes back to 3rd place as Amato works the bottom again on the inside of Warren Oldfield and hits the race lead as they come out of turn number 2. The 82 now hits the front. Oldfield back to the outside. Side by side into Hawkins Corner. Wheel to wheel late model action on a beautiful Sunday afternoon here in Western Australia. Oldfield back to the front. Back around the outside of his good mate in Matt Amato. Blight trying to work the outside as Jason Bond retires to the infield. Here comes the national champion to the outside of Amato. What a move around the outside as he hustles into turn number 3 to the top shelf on the outside of Warren Oldfield. Kisses the concrete wall. Bit of damage to the right rear quarter panel. The Australian number 1 for Blythesville Electrics. He is hustling to the outside, using all of the Ellenbrook Speedway and a little bit more. Here he comes again to the outside of Oldfield. Blight to the outside, stands on the loud pedal, and the Australian champion hits the race lead as they come off turn number 4. Ball around the outside of Warren Oldfield. Vosbergen trying to follow him around the outside of Matt Amato. What a race in earnest here at Ellenbrook Speedway. The Pro Dirt Late Model Series turning on the action, and the national champion is putting on a show. He's putting on a clinic. He brings the number 1 out of turn number 4, really working the motor race engine to absolute perfection at the moment. He hustles the Australian number 1 out of turn number 2. Watch for Brent Vosbergen to try and find a way past the 15 of Warren Oldfield. They come through turns 3 and 4 again. Daniel Amagiri's come from nowhere. He sits in 4th, moves past Matt Amato. Amato back to 5th from Paul Stubber and the 2-car of Rob Wells. Can the national champion hold on? He's within sight of the finish in the opening heat race of a big summer season for the Pro Dirt Late Model Series here in Western Australia. 2 laps remaining. The Blythesville Electrics, sadly as Butcher's Australian number 1, might have some company very shortly. Here comes Oldfield on the bottom. Vosbergen sits in 3rd from Amagiri. Amato your top 5. Paul Stubble with a bit of damage to the right rear quarter panel on the BGC XO1 Rocket. 1 lap remaining. Kai Blight, I'm not sure if he knows Oldfield's working the bottom to perfection at the moment. They come out of turn number 2 for the final occasion. And the Australian champion, who's also the West Australian champion, brings the Australian number 1 Longhorn chassis into turns 3 and 4 for the last time, and will score maximum points to start the night. Blight wins from Oldfield. Brent Vosbergen, Amagiri will be 4th from the 82 of Matt Amato. Paul Stubber and the 2-car for CTM Recruitment. Rob Wells rounds them out with Jason Bond not completing the distance. But how about that, ladies and gentlemen, to start the summer, Kai Blight putting on a show here at Ellenbrook. Woohoo! What a settle as by the national champion. Work to the top shelf. The all-up time was 3 minutes 5.492 and defeats Warren Oldfield by 0.8 of a second. And check the quick time by Brent Vosbergen at 17.882. Vosbergen was officially 3rd from Amagiri, Amato, Stubber and Rob Wells, with Jason Bond completing 1 lap in cut number 95. But Morgan Melvin, he's got the man that he spent a couple of months in America with a couple of years ago racing late models, Kai Blight.
So if anyone had a question on how long it was going to last, the right rear quarter panel, we counted it at 6 laps for Kai Blight. And Kai, that's your hard heat out of the way with a bad starting spot. Now we've got a little bit easier. Feels like the work's almost done.
Oh, I don't know about that, mate. I felt really uncomfortable out there, but Warren was, probably in the right part of the racetrack, and I just kind of thought, I've got to do something here to get around him and put it up on the top, and obviously I lost the spoiler there, but hey, just got to say massive thanks to everyone back in the pit area. My mum and dad, my beautiful wife, Graham and Linda, everyone back there is really probably annoyed right now, but really happy to be back at the racetrack. So thanks everyone, thanks Ellenbrook for putting this show on, and we'll go back and get to work and see if we can't get any better.
It looks like the chip was hit a couple of times there.
Sorry, Jace.
As we move on to heat race number 2. What about it one more time for Kai Blight, the national champion, showing it how it's done. And the Albany Forklifts and Industries.